What's up guys, sgoodman52 and welcome back to another video here on the 52 Wonders YouTube channel. Now, as you may have seen from the beginning of the video, I'm going to be teaching you something pretty awesome right at the end, so make sure you stick around for that. But in the meantime, sit back, relax, get your deck of cards ready, and like, subscribe, comment on this channel, and as always, let's get into it. So today we are going to be reviewing and then teaching something using the 03 entry peppers. Now this is the third in the 4-part installment by Entry, which is one of these brands that came out last year, led up by Benji Taylor and Franco Pasquale, who have subsequently split after the V4s due to sort of artistic differences. Now the 03s, the peppers, I think these ones had the biggest hype around them, mainly because if you bought I think it was a brick of them, you may potentially get an 04. And subsequently 04 are available to purchase now, but it was one of those things where everyone was then just buying it because they were like, oh my god, there's a fourth one, and they were getting that, and it was purely random as well, it was all randomly selected. So, continuation of the theme of this deck, it still has that sort of sneaker style, hype beast like look about it. You've got this plain white tuck with 03 on the front in the same font as the other two. Down the side we have 03 peppers. On the bottom we have a little bit of ad work about where it's designed, and down the other side we have the words Entry. Now on the back we do have, as always, the design of the cards inside, and that is pretty much all of the design work on the external part of the deck. So the deck comes with a couple of things as always, and what is interesting with this deck is that it's the first one in the Entry series to actually have two identical jokers. Now if you don't know much about Entry, Entry is a brand designed exclusively for cardistry. However, there are magic, you can do magic with it. If you look at Franco Pasquale, for example, he's one of the great magicians out there. Great young magicians, actually. I think he's younger than me, and he's like insane. But anyway, age doesn't matter. You get two jokers. And what I like about this, there's like some sort of poem in the background, and I don't know what language it's in. It's pretty funky, and you've got this almost like Sharpie drawn joker over the top of it. As well as that, you'll get an ad card like this. Now they always do really funky ad cards in all of the decks. There's always something in there, and you do get a gap card. Now the back design is a one-way back design, so it may look like it is identical. However, this corner is always a dark red and this corner is always a light red, so it is a one-way back design. Now, like most Entry cards, and in fact all Entry cards, the stock on these are really thin and crushed, and I believe they're cushioned, which allows for the cardistry to be so much smoother and more natural. Like all Entries as well, these are standard bicycle font in terms of the pit. If we look around the court cards, they are exactly the same as any other normal bicycle card. It was nice in the, I think it was in Entry 1s, they did have a different colour for the court cards, but they don't on these. And the only real customization extra is on the ace, which normally happens. So this one, it just says handle without care Entry. This is a really fun deck to play with, and I've been playing with this for about 2 weeks now because I really want to give it a good review, and I can say that it just feels really good when you're doing magic, when you're doing cardistry, and it's a deck that I haven't wanted to put down. So let's get into the review. So in terms of aesthetics, I'm going to give these a 10 out of 13. I do like the back design, I love the simplicity of the front of the box. The jokers are bumped up a little bit for me, but the fact there's not a lot of customization on the front of the court cards just makes it seem like it's like another generic deck. However, that's not the case, because as we move into handling, we'll know that these cards do handle better than actually most of the cards out there on the market. For me anyway, I feel they just feel great. So in that terms, I'm going to give it a 12 out of 13. In terms of durability, now like I said, I've had these for 2 weeks. They've not really deteriorated much. In fact, I have been beating these cards up and they feel great. So because of that, I'm going to give them an 11 out of 13. And then in terms of practicality, the one-way design is actually I almost didn't notice it until I was playing with the cards a little bit and I spread and I thought, oh, that's a bit different. So because of that, how it all looks, how the cards feel, jokers, the gaff card, I'm going to give it, in terms of practicality, a 11 out of 13. That means that these cards are going to get a 45 out of 52 in terms of their overall review. Now guys, now that we've got the review out of the way and you've got a deck of cards in your hand, I'm going to be showing you the thing at the beginning of the video and teaching you how to do a move that is quite simple, and it's something that I've used on a video previous for this channel, and it was when I did the trick where I turned the queens in, the threes into queens. Okay, it's a very simple move, it's so easy to use, so get your deck of cards, sit down, let's crack your knuckles and let's get into the glide force. Okay guys, so I'm going to be teaching this over the shoulder today, as I think it's probably the easiest method to do. But the glide force is very, very simple. Now what it is that using your pinky, what you're going to do is you're going to hold the deck in sort of like a raised dealer's grip, and what you're going to do is you are going to use your little finger on the bottom corner to just simply pull down, and you do that as you turn the deck over. Okay, so essentially what you're incorporating is a wrist kill at the same time. So from this angle you cannot see that I have pulled back a card, and I'm essentially taking the card underneath it, putting it down, and that is the glide force in basically in its entirety. It's a very easy maneuver to use, and it's one that is very useful to use. So you essentially, from the top, you display the deck as you're turning it over. Your little finger is going to make contact with the bottom pip down here. You're going to pull back, leaving a little gap at the top. Now if you get good at it, you can pull back. I can take a card out, and in fact I've done a double at the same time, and it's the same principle as a push off double. You just push down hard enough and you can potentially pull down 2 cards. So again, what we're going to do is hold the card in a raised dealer's grip. We're going to make contact. Now what I like to do is in that little finger here, see this action? It's like a squeeze, a push down and then pull. That is going to be the easiest method for you, and in fact that is how I sometimes can do a double glide force. Okay, so we're going to do again. We've got it. Now the grip at the top doesn't matter too much as long as you've got a full grip. I tend to go with my 2 fingers here, my ring finger 1 and finger 2, or your middle finger, and the thumb on the top edge of the deck. And then that allows my little finger to move freely and take that card off. So essentially where you would do a Cardini and it's this way, the glide force is pulling down as you do a wrist kill like so. And you just slide the card out. It's quite an easy thing for you to learn, and there's plenty of applications for you to use it in. So for example, the trick I did on the channel a couple of weeks ago that involved turning 3 threes into queens, and it's a very simple maneuver. You can set up the deck, shuffle it away, and there you go. That is how you do a glide force. Okay guys, so that is the tutorial for the glide force. Now, it's one of those things, as always, that you need to practice first before going out and performing it, but it's one of those easy to do sleight of hand techniques that you can incorporate into many different routines. Even if it was just, you know, you controlled their card to the second from bottom, and then you showed the bottom card, did a glide force, put it down on the table and said, you know, go into some sort of pattern like that. It's such an easy move to use, so make sure you practice and get out there and use it. Now, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure that you like, you subscribe, you comment down below, and as always, if you need any playing cards, head on over to the 52 Wonders web store, where you can buy some playing cards with amazing shipping rates for around the world. So, as always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, definitely drop a like, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye!